Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the Morning Night Live with yours truly, P Dog Night. I am here. I've got my reparation coffee ready to go. And I'm back from Linclon, Nebraska, where we had a wonderful weekend watching my son playing basketball. I see everyone's talking about the weather in the chat. Yes, let's see. I went to work this morning at 3 a.m. Let's see what the temperature is in the Twin Cities today. Let's see. Because I know someone said, talking about 22. It's -3 right outdoors, right outside my house. Okay, so it's pretty cold out there. Hi, everybody. Good morning. St. Foggy, Tyler F., Johnny Hellcat. How do you say that? Necrosol Collins. That sounds like something. I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds like, I don't know. That sounds scary. Hate Camel, good morning. Maniac Man, Old Grouchy Gamer, Sarah. The gang's all here, and I am so glad to be back in the chair in my nice, warm, comfy house. So, some of you got to join us this weekend. Y'all got to meet. Well, let's just talk about this for a moment, because she might even be listening. I don't know. She doesn't always listen to my show. In fact, she never listens to my show. But I was trying to give my wife a really cool nickname. Okay, I was going with the Gloria Days. I thought it was a cute nickname, and she wasn't really feeling it. And then you guys in the chat on our long live stream. Now, if you weren't here Friday, we live stream our entire 6.5-hour drive, and the chat decided to give her the name Lady Boomer, and it didn't really, at first I was like, that's an okay nickname, but then it actually kind of grew on me, and then I was thinking, P Dog Night, because I play on words on night, and Lady Boomer, that sounds like, half the round table. So, and I'm sitting at a somewhat round table, so one of these days I'll have her stream with me again. In fact, let's just give you a little programming note right now. So, as you know, we were driving to Linclon, Nebraska from here to watch my son play basketball in the NCAA men's basketball tournament for Division III. And so they had a game down there, and if they lose a game, they're out. It's the first round of 64. And they did win their first game over the University of Wisconsin lacrosse, and they quite handily, actually. That game was never close. But then on Saturday, they had to face the #1 team in the nation, Nebraska Wesleyan. And I think they're called the Prairie Wolves, something like that. But they're the defending national champions, ranked #1 in the nation, 27-1. And now they are 27-2. So we had a great weekend. So the University of St. Thomas defeated the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves 70-58. And so we'll be traveling again next Friday. Thus, my programming note. What's going to happen next weekend is we're going to have to travel. I believe, we're not 100% sure, but I think the second round will be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So we will have another live with P Dog Night and Lady Boomer. Woohoo! And I know many of you enjoyed that. She's a funny lady, and she will definitely keep you entertained, even if it's just all the Boomer things. So that's how it goes. Anyway, so so speaking of that, another road trip. It'll be fun, and for those of you who spent any time with us on Friday, good God, I didn't realize that I could even think about streaming that long, but it was pretty easy because you guys asked a lot of great questions, added a lot to it, and my wife was just really funny. Unfortunately, we talked about streaming on the way back, and some of you are probably anticipating that, and unfortunately, after our win Saturday night, we partook in a few adult beverages, and so Lady Boomer pretty much slept the entire trip home. So we decided not to stream. It was just a little too too challenging. Let's put it that way. So anyway, so as I was talking, as I mentioned, let's talk. I know this is going to be quick, but my kid, it's my kid's team, so we're going to just talk about lights out in Lincoln and the University of St. Thomas. So this is probably going to bore you, but I'm excited about it. Lights out in Lincoln, St. Thomas rides 3 to upset. Sophomore guard Ryan Lindbergh scored 15 points and led a 3-point shooting blitz that lifted the number 13 ranked St. Thomas to Saturday night's stunning 70-58 road upset of number 1 ranked Nebraska Wesleyan in NCAA men's basketball second round play in Lincoln. The Tommies 24-4 sank 15 from 40 from behind the arcs. We hit 15 3-pointers. I'm not going to read this article. I'm just going to tell you about it a little bit myself because it was a lot of fun. So we're in their house. This house is packed. And we didn't have a whole lot of St. Thomas fans there. Here, let me just take this off here. You don't need to see this. We didn't have a whole lot of St. Thomas fans there. Maybe there's about 50 of us. And in fact, I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and one of my this gal who I went to, she was in my first grade class. We went to school all the way through graduating the same high school. And she and her whole family came out to watch the game. Never met my son, but she just came out to support us. So that was cool. So we're bantering with we're sitting in this section here where we are looking down behind our player bench. And then on the end of the court over here is one of their 2 student sections. They have a student section on both ends. And this place was packed. And on this student section, everyone's wearing costumes and they were fun. They were a really good student section. And so to start the game, now Nebraska Wesleyan is a team that plays 3-2 zone. That might mean something to some of you, but not everybody, but that's okay. And none of the teams we play normally play zone, but we are a very good shooting team. And so to start the game, we took the ball down, boom. We hit a 3. One of our players hits a 3. And there's one kid in the student section who keeps looking at me. And my wife's, if you're not, now one thing you'll learn about Lady Boomer, if you've ever seen her at a sporting event, she's very animated. She dances to the music and she carries a pom-pom. She's always the center of attraction. Anyway, so all the students were like kind of laughing and looking at her. And then one student though caught my eye and he's like, he's telling me, I look over and he's like, you guys have no chance. I'm like, wait, why are you talking to me? So we hit the first 3. And so I just looked at him. I go, that's 1. And he goes, whatever. And so then they come down to hit a 3 and he goes to me, that's 1. Well, in the first 5 minutes of the game, the University of St. Thomas hit 7 3-pointers. So each time they hit a 3-pointer, I went, that's 2. And then the next one, that's 3. In fact, of our first 8 baskets, 7 were 3-pointers. And so throughout the game, I'm doing this, and they're very cocky because they are the defending national champions, and their whole crowd's really excited. But we started the game with a 20 to 10 run. We're up 10 points right off the bat. They come back to get ahead by 1 just before halftime, and then they go up on a 6-point lead. But by then we hit 8 threes in the first half, and they got up 6. There was a timeout, and what's interesting, our team runs a lot. We have 10 players that they rotate in and out, and the other team pretty much plays about 6 players. So they were getting tired, and we're down by 6 early in the second half, and they call a timeout. And the weirdest thing is, during this timeout, our players come off the court. They're down 6 after being up the entire first half, and they're all smiling and laughing and just, looking super confident, even though they're down 6. And so I asked my son after the game, what was that about? Because you guys looked like you were in the catbird seat. And he goes, well, we came off the court after that timeout. none of their team could breathe from running so much, and we knew that there was no way we'd lose the game. So anyway, they finished the game. They went on there was a like almost a 7-minute scoring drought by the Prairie Wolves, whatever they're called. And so the University of St. Thomas ends up winning the game 70-58. So we move on to the Sweet 16 of Division III National Basketball. So that's my sports report for today. Next week, next Friday, we'll do another 5 or however long it takes us to get to Oshkosh, our live stream in the truck. And maybe we'll do a Saturday morning show too. So now a couple people showed up while I was rambling there. Let's see. Well, I see St. Fugi was already here. Somebody just showed up that said, oh, hey, Zombie Teddy, good morning. Nice to see you. So anyway, let's, I'm going to go a little different today, what I normally do. I have already got some headlines, some articles that I want to go through. And so we're going to do that. We'll see how many we get through. I may or may not get to Twitter trends. Twitter trends didn't look all exciting today. In fact, although it's interesting, I am getting, oh, thank you for the retweets, Hate Camel and Sarah for getting putting the stream out there. Also, if you haven't done that, right down here, there, I'm trying to figure it out. There it is on my screen. Right down there is that little arrow where you can share. You can share whatever social media you're on. Also, you can, or you can just retweet what I tweeted. I put that in the chat. I'll put that in the chat again. There we go. And if you're so inclined, now that we have some unintended, or excuse me, well, should I say they're expected or unexpected? Because I thought we might win this weekend and have to go travel another weekend. Anyway, you know what? Feel free to, if you're entertained and you enjoy what we do, throw a couple bucks in the tip jar down there via Streamlabs. The link is in the description. So, all right. And also Sarah will throw it in the chat every once in a while too. So if you're so inclined, also I do read the super chats off of the Streamlabs, whatever that's called, feed. So anyway, all right, let's get to going here now. I thought this was kind of good news, and here we go. And so we're just going to go through a few things. I thought this was kind of cool. Fiat Chrysler to add more than 6,000 jobs in Michigan, although they are going to lay off 1,400 in Illinois. So I don't know. It's a net, what is that? Net 4,600 jobs. So here we go. Fiat Chrysler announced plans to invest $4.5 billion into its existing Michigan plants and create nearly 6,500 new jobs as a result. All this at the same time, the automaker said it will eliminate nearly 1,400 jobs at a plant in northern Illinois. In Detroit, the investment will help increase capacity to meet growing demand for its Jeep and Ram brands. Yeah, the Jeep is Jeep and the Ram trucks are all of a sudden, for some reason, just flying out of lots. People really like the new Jeep products. They've made some kind of they've added some new model changes so that not all the models are kind of the same. So they're really starting to see some success. Let's see, three years. What's this see? Oh, and also they're trying to try some new electric models too, I guess. So 3 years ago, FCA set a course to grow our profitability based on the strength of the Jeep and Ram brands by realigning our U.S. manufacturing operations. Mike Manley, Fiat Chrysler Chief Executive Officer, said in a statement, "Today's announcement represents the next step in that strategy. It allows Jeep to enter 2 white space segments that offer significant margin opportunities and will enable new electrified Jeep products, including at least 4 plug-in hybrid vehicles and the flexibility to produce fully battery electric vehicles." So that's good news. A net $4,600 jobs in northern Michigan, which is an area that really needs the needs the jobs. So good thing. Hey, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Am I entertained? You're damned right I am. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the $5 Streamlabs super chat. So awesome. Thank you very, very much, sir. All right, next article I thought was pretty interesting. Now, let's see here. This is a new research. We hear about the wage gap a lot, and okay. I just said wage gap, didn't I? I meant earnings gap. But new research. Women earn not less because of sexism, but because they prefer to raise their own kids. This research overwhelmingly suggests the sexist earning gap is mostly not caused by sexism. It's not an unequal pay for equal work issue. It's largely that women do different work. Well, you know what? I've been saying that for a long time. I don't think... now, there is two schools of thought on women raising kids or having kids, and some people see that as a burden, and some people see that as something that people want to do. So anyway, let's go through this because there's a couple interesting little things in this article. What causes the earnings gap between men and women? If you listen to progressive, the answer is pretty clear. It's sexism. It's the privilege of powerful white males. It's men exhibiting prejudice against women in the workplace. Yes. Well, discrimination and workplace bias against women absolutely exists. Thousands of legal cases of people, usually women, being treated worse at work on account of their sex are heard every year. Yet, new research adds to the overwhelming body of research that suggests the sexist earning gap is mostly not caused by discrimination or sexism. It's not an unequal pay for equal work issue. It's largely that women do different work. The new research looks at what's happening to women's earnings after they have a baby, compared to various benchmarks: spousal income before and after a baby, similarly situated women who don't have a baby. The method used finds similar effects regardless of the baseline measured against. What it finds is striking. Having a baby massively lowers earnings for women in every country where it's been studied. Here's a key point. Even countries with very generous welfare systems like Denmark or Germany have much lower maternal earnings. Strikingly, the correlation between how generously a country supports moms and maternity leave tells you very little about the maternal earnings gap. Low maternity leave America has a smaller baby earnings penalty, and I hate that even being termed that way. But anyway, than much more generous Germany and Austria. Now, if you look at this little graph here, they show the USA is in the red here. This line that goes like this, saying that before and after a baby, I guess, the earnings that women have. Well, you look at Germany and Denmark. Germany is the orange one. Denmark's the purple one. Excuse me, is Denmark? Yeah. Very similar lines, even though those countries have very generous maternity leave. They have very, so anyway, the family leave where they, are much more subsidizing to people. So what explains the gap? Well, it turns out that it's mostly driven not by changes in wages or hours worked, although there are effects there, but by the changes in the odds that a woman works at all. That is to say, this isn't mostly about mommy track jobs or unequal pay for unequal work. It's about stay-at-home moms. The authors estimate that the penalty, stop calling it a frickin' penalty. The authors estimate that the penalty to labor force participation, similar to their estimates of earnings. They find changes in labor force participation account for a majority of the change in women's earnings in every country except Sweden. In the United States and United Kingdom, changes in employment account for more than 100%. How does it account for more than 100%? Oh, okay. Because, I'm sorry. I'll just finish that sentence. Changes in employment account for more than 100% of changes in women's earnings, meaning that apparently moms who do return to work actually earn more than non-moms. Oh, that's weird. Moms who do return to work actually earn more than non-moms. Now, I never heard that. I didn't read that part. I must have read that wrong. Interesting. So anyway, the graphs correlate from the policy. So if you want to read this article, it's in the Federalist. But even the countries where they have super, super generous maternal leave, it doesn't affect. It's because people want to raise their own kids. I know when my kids were born, that was a discussion my wife and I had before we even thought of having kids. Actually, we had that discussion not even before we got married, you know. Hey, what do we want to do if we have kids, if and when? Of course, sometimes when you plan those things out in advance, things work out a lot better for you. And you have a, you know, you're less likely to be in poverty because you thought about it ahead of time. And we were in our let's see. I mean, I was 28 when we had our first child too. So we, that adage that, what is it? Finish high school, which I finished college. Wait to have children until you are ready to raise a family or be married. And don't have children too young are good indicators of how successful you'll be in life. And so that probably adds to the truth here. So here we go. Let's see. Next article. All right, let's click that one. That one's going to be gone. Oh, this is a good one. Hi, by the way, hi, Gene. How are you? I see you. You came this morning. Cynical Lindsay, nice to see you. Oh yeah, six. What? Six proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That is correct. All right, now the next article. This is a good one. And actually, Randy Monkey and I were on last night on his channel for a little bit, talking about the hypocrisy of some of our Democrat friends. Although, you know what, I would say just politicians in general. But this article was I found very interesting. We talked about this a little bit last night. Bernie Sanders hires twice arrested illegal alien as press secretary. Oh, very good, Mr. Sanders. Senator Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont, has reportedly hired a twice arrested illegal alien as his deputy national secretary. Balin Cisa enters the job with 1 year left of DACA protection from deportation, the Washington Examiner reported Thursday. You know, that's going to be a problem if they don't figure out, if Congress and the Senate and blah, blah, blah doesn't figure out DACA, isn't it? That's going to be a problem. She only has a year left. His campaign goes, they don't have an election until 2020, so let me do the math here. His deputy national secretary could be deported during his campaign. Oh gosh. Anyway, the hiring of Balin Cisa, an Arizona leftist activist, was announced Wednesday evening. Cisa, who says she was brought to this country illegally from Argentina by her parents at age 6, is currently protection from deportation under President Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA program. Note it says under President Barack Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, because DACA is not a law. It was an executive order. Thus, it can be removed by executive order, which means if and you know, there was big news that President Trump suspended DACA for a time. So the people who are under DACA right now are really in limbo. They're not kicking any of them out, but it expires. It's going to expire, or their times. So they grandfather the ones who are already part of DACA in, but as soon as they're I'm blanking out. I'm sorry. As soon as their time expires, they could be deported. So they need to figure that out. Good morning, Seamus Derby. How you doing? Let's see. Are you one of the people who subscribed last night? A bunch of people subscribed last night when I was on Monkey Show, and I really appreciate that. It maybe not, but good morning. Good to see you. So anyway, according to the Examiner article, Cisa claims to have organized a prison strike. Oh, great. She has been arrested at least twice for protests throughout her activist career. As a college senior in 2017, she was jailed for a role in a sit-in outside of Chuck Schumer's office. While in jail, CST told reporters that she organized a prison strike. Just weeks before that, she was arrested for a protest outside the Senate Hart office building. Of course, then this is just, good morning, Max Del Rio. Of course, the exam report comes out the same day that Senator Sanders' fellow Democrat, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, declared on Twitter that tokenism is racism. A reference to Representative Mark Meadows, allowing an African-American colleague to attest to President Donald Trump's character. So I'm wondering what... I wonder if this illegal alien, a.k.a. DACA, protected Deputy National Secretary, if that's also tokenism. Anyway, so that's... Way to go. Way to go, Senator Sanders. Way to go. You might not have a press secretary in about a year. So moving on, another one. Oh, Kamala Harris is at it again. Well, let's just put it this way. She has a little issue with the Me Too movement. And so I kind of feel bad because I don't necessarily think this is her fault, but it's kind of one of those things that, just kind of one of those things that come back and bite you in the ass. Democratic California Senator Kamala Harris revealed in an interview last week that she has not spoken to the woman who accused one of Harris's top aides of sexual harassment. Harris was forced to address the sexual harassment case, which occurred when Harris was still serving as California's Attorney General during an interview with Univision's Ilia Calderon. On Wednesday, one of your top aides, Larry Wallace, was accused of sexual harassment. And you said you weren't aware of what happened, Calderon said. Did anyone tell you what was going on at your office? Rather than read this, I'm just going to let's just watch the interview, because this is, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Kamala Harris. And you'll see it. Now, she doesn't do it as much in this one, but whenever she's asked a tough question, she gets this little smile on her face, and a lot of times she giggles. She did do it in this one, but it's one of those deer in the headlight smiles. It's very interesting. I don't think she's going to be, I think Democrats, when they start debating for the presidential nomination, you're going to see a lot of those just weird little laughs. But let's watch this. It's only a minute 27, so let's watch it.
Rights, but one of your top aides, Larry Wallace, was accused of sexual harassment.
All right, so soon as she knows what's coming, because watch her little smile here. She starts out with just a straight face, and then the smile comes when she knows this tough question's coming. Watch.
Rights, but one of your top aides, Larry Wallace, was accused of sexual harassment.
Yeah, the little smirk. You know what? Good thing she's not around any Native Americans, because that smirk could put her in jail. Just saying. Just saying.
You weren't aware of what had happened. Did anyone tell you what was going on at your office?
I did not know about that case, but I will tell you that...
Hold up! Now. Now remember... So this Larry Wallace worked for Harris when she was the Attorney General in California. However, Larry Wallace, doesn't Larry Wallace work on her campaign? Oh, no, she never spoke to a woman. Anyway, all right, never mind. Here we go. Let me finish this up.
It makes the point that no office is immune. I have been a fighter for women's rights, and for my entire career. I have fought for women who have been abused. I have fought for women who have been harassed. I have fought for women's empowerment.
That's not what she asked you, Senator.
Relates to
that's not the question.
Opportunities for professional success, and I will always be a fighter for women's rights.
That's not what she asked.
Did you reach to the alleged victim in this specific case to offer your support?
I have indicated that I'm very supportive of all women who come forward. And
Again, that's not what she asked. Listen to the question. The question is not, are you supportive of all women? It's, she said,
did you reach to the alleged victim in this specific case to offer your support?
Did she reach out to the victim in this specific case? Now listen to this answer.
I have indicated that I'm very supportive of all women who come forward and speak up and have the courage to speak up.
In this specific case?
In this specific case, I have not talked to the victim.
Oh, there you go.
Why didn't you talk to the victim?
That case is being handled by the Attorney General's office, and I've left it up to that office to handle the case as they have seen fit, which included a settlement.
Okay, well, there you go. So anyway, yeah, that's, you know, I'm wondering why, because you know, when Kamala Harris announced that she was going to run for president, you could tell that she was going to be one of the media's favorite, at least the usual suspect, the mainstream non-right media, which is pretty much everybody but a few of these smaller outlets that we get some articles from. But anyway, she's got lots of issues that just people are starting to figure out real quick, even though she's the media darling. So anyway, yeah, question deflector activated. Or whatever I was going to say, Captain. I lost my thought. Anyway, all right, now, so let's go to a new one. Now, this is really weird because, so if you remember back in December, and I pulled up the December, oh no, this is March. Is this the one? Okay. So back in December, there was this horrific crime in Baltimore. And so I'm going to refresh your memory on the crime itself. But now we have an update. And this will be interesting. So Keith and Jacqueline Smith danced Friday night at the American Legion on Madison Street in Baltimore, where they had brought his daughter Siobhan to celebrate her 28th birthday. Actually, it's his stepdaughter. Hours later, about 12:30 a.m., the 52-year-old Harford County man found himself calling 911, rushing Jacqueline, 54, to the emergency room. She had been stabbed by a man through their rolled-down car window after giving money to a woman panhandling in the rain in East Baltimore. Anyone remember this case? It made national news. It was that this, some lady came up and was trying to get some money from them, and all of a sudden some guy stabs his wife in the chest with a knife. Jacqueline Smith, an electrical engineer at Aberdeen Proving Ground, had her necklace and pocketbook snatched by the woman and the man, who approached under the guise of thanking her for giving the woman money, her husband said. She died 2 hours after they arrived at Johns Hopkins Hospital. The pair ran away, but the woman paused long enough to say something. Keith Smith said, "This girl actually said, 'God bless you,' after the man stabbed Jacqueline," he said. Now, so the woman died, and this is back in December. And, really sad story. It made some national news. I just remember hearing this story because, they were talking about, be careful when you give money to people, blah, 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 blah. Well, there is an update to the story. Widower, stepdaughter who blamed panhandler for woman's stabbing death in Baltimore, arrested in her killing. The story of a woman who was fatally stabbed in December after reportedly giving money to a panhandler, a case that drew national attention and spread fear throughout Baltimore, was actually a ruse by her husband and stepdaughter. Oh, okay, it is his daughter, who have been charged with her death, police announced Sunday night. Kevin Smith, 52, and his daughter, Valeria Smith, 28, were arrested by Texas State Police near the U.S.-Mexico border while trying to flee the country earlier Sunday, acting Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said. Warrants charging them with first-degree murder in the death of Kevin Smith's wife, Jacqueline Smith, were issued, Harrison said. The information and evidence points it wasn't a panhandler, Harrison said. People take advantage of Baltimore. We want to make sure the truth comes out and justice is done. So, in other words, You know, we've been talking a lot about the Jussie Smollett case, but hey, hold my beer. I think we got one better. Let's see. Just look at the news conference on this one.
Let me just say thank you to our detectives for all the work that they've done in this case, and to Jacqueline Smith's family. We are sincerely in pain for that family, and also for the citizens of Baltimore, because these individuals took advantage of a situation, a city that is already dealing with its own problems. So we're looking forward to this cruel act being brought to justice.
I am incredibly proud of the work that these officers.
Anyone recognize Marilyn Mosby? Oh my gosh, she's a piece of work. But anyway, at least they're taking care of this case though.
And these detectives have done in this particular case. Oftentimes we have these negative depictions about our city, and it's rather unfortunate.
Hold up. What did she just say? What did she just say?
And it's rather unfortunate when people take advantage of these negative perceptions.
No, not that
part. I can tell you that this is an example where collaborative efforts of the Baltimore Police Department and my office were able to get to the truth of the matter and to get to the bottom and to pursue, in the end, the justice for Jacqueline Smith. And that's, in the end, what this is all about.
The information.
No. She said something
perceptions.
Else here. Oh, this.
Take advantage of these negative depictions have done. In this particular case, oftentimes we have these negative depictions about our city, and it's
negative depictions about your city, one of the murder capitals of the United States. Yeah, you know, well, there's been more than a few issues in Baltimore. Let's go back now. Let's see what the other guy says here real quick, and then we'll move on.
This is all about.
The information and the evidence points to it was not a panhandler, and people should still take caution and use due diligence when doing anything like that anywhere in America. But it points to the fact that it was not a panhandler and that the circumstances were very different. And people took advantage of Baltimore. And what we want to make sure is that the truth comes out and justice is done.
All right. So, and Old Grouch Gamer, I see your question there. So that both the husband and the stepdaughter were arrested. Yeah, it's her husband and the stepdaughter, meaning the husband's natural daughter, and then they were both arrested. So they plotted to kill the woman. Man, that's messed up. All right, so hoaxes aren't always just about hate crimes, but you would like to think that hoaxes are few and far between. Maybe they are. I'm thinking maybe on the hate crimes end of things, there's a few more of them, but I'd like to think that. Here's what I would like to say about this particular thing. Clearly the police did a lot of good work and figured out what happened here. So kudos to the Baltimore police, who've gotten a lot of flack over time, especially with some of the riots that happened in Baltimore after a certain very very public and nationally publicized incidents. Now, moving on. So I was looking up articles. Okay, no, this is February 4th. Hang on. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna skip the Covington stuff. I had a couple Covington articles that were just good examples of how the media just peddles bullshit, but I'm gonna skip those because there's another N-word controversy. Now, this is from February 19th, so this is a while back, but I just kind of caught this. So this is from the College Fix. And this article annoys the shit out of me. White university dean skewered for using N-word in context. Blames Trump. Now, first of all, when I read this article, you're going to go, wait, what? What's the issue here? Okay, me being no friend of the N-word. Another white academic is in hot water for using the N-word in context. This time, Donald Trump is partly to blame. Oh, good Lord. Another white academic is in hot water for using, oh, I already said that. Sonoma State Dean of Arts and Humanities, Hollis Robbins, ironically, a noted scholar of 19th century American and African American literature, film, and poetry, quoted the racial slur while reading poems by Amiri Baraka and Langston Hughes during a guest appearance in a multicultural class. Let me read that to you again. And tell me why I am so annoyed. Quoted the racial slur while reading poems by Amiri Baraka and Langston Hughes during a guest appearance in a multicultural class. She was reading poetry written by African Americans. According to the Sonoma State Star, after the incident spread to why is this an incident? It's you're reading something that someone else wrote in the context it was written. I hate the word. I hate that word. But I don't care if someone's reading a poem or if you're watching To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's put it this way. My daughter, who was a theater major, and her school did one of the plays that she was in was To Kill a Mockingbird. The N-word is sprinkled throughout that play. Nobody protested the play. Okay. Now, I'm shocked that nobody protested the play. However, the director of the play did put a trigger warning in the theater program stating that stating about the colorful language, blah, blah, blah. Langston Hughes is he's an American of African descent, famous poet and writer who wrote the words on a page that the professor recited as part of the poem that she was reading. And they're calling this an incident. All right, so here we go. According to the Sonoma Star, after the incident spread to faculty, staff, and students on campus, Robbins invited folks to a confab so she could apologize, discuss the matter, and come up with a resolution moving forward. Sure, here's our resolution. We will no longer read Langston Hughes. You frickin' morons. Mostly, I wanted to hear the hurt. I heard the hurt. I acknowledged the hurt. And I'm sorry about the hurt deeply. I need to buy a bell. I need to buy a bell to sit up here that I can ding every time, the hurt or the, oh my God, give me a break. Citing her lack of awareness of the campus climate, Robbins added that the last time she had read the poem 3 years ago, there was no Donald Trump in the White House. You dog, can't freaking believe. Oh my God, that's desperate. That is freaking desperate. I've learned that this hasn't been a great climate. I apologize for not knowing that, she said. You haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention to the academic majors that end in the word studies. Remember what I said? And by the way, I'm going to repeat this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are majoring in something that ends in the word studies, you may want to begin studying menus, preferably of coffee shops, because that's where you'll be working. Anyway, from the story, among the many faculty and staff that spoke up, Cookie Garrett, the area coordinator for resident living area Beaujolais, advisor for the Black Student Union, and the staff co-chair of the Black Faculty and Staff Association, expressed herself on behalf of the Black students that come to her for support. From a personal standpoint, as a Black woman, I am so tired. I talked about this last night. We read this with Monkey last night, and I said, I'm so tired of people talking about as a Black woman or as a trans person of color or as a auto mechanic who, I was going to say something really rude, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I'm sick of that phrase. How about just, what? State your opinion. Nobody gives a fuck what you are. Oh, I swore. I'm sorry. Hi, Brian Mullins. How you doing? I see you there. I just didn't see you come in earlier. Anyway, here we go. As a black woman and a professional staff member of this campus, I've heard so many things in my short time here of where students have been offended in the classroom, have been by advisors, by other students, and no one really speaks up to say this is a problem we need to address. Garrett said, addressing that many of the racial incidents that happen on campus go unreported and unresolved. Why is this a racial incident? You know what? All right. Hey, I'm going to read a poem. It has some words you might not like in here, but it's in historical context, and it's by a famous African-American poet during Black History Month. It's a word that you'd not like, but they're not my words. They're an African-American poet's words. If you don't like it, shut the fuck up and go away. Don't listen to it. It's going to be in here, but it's a poem, and I'm going to read it. I don't care if I'm white. I'm quoting her because I'm not, but whatever. It's a matter of the climate and context of Sonoma State, EOP Senior Advisor Andre Bailey said. It's not so much you. It's the systematic idea that on the basis that the issue or the issue of concern is not, this is word salad, is not being taken into account from a serious standpoint. And I think it's evident to be in a room where there's not enough seats here even now. What the hell does that mean? Okay, I'm going to suggest to Sonoma State Dean of Arts and Humanities, Hollis Robbins, that from now on, whenever she wants to maybe quote a poem by Amiri Baraka or Langston Hughes that might have a word that could be considered dangerous, to go hire a black person as a prop who can say it for you. I know that you can read about it in your history books and your textbooks and your very advanced scholarly books that you've got. Crystal Jimenez, an Afro-Latinx. An Afro-Latinx student told Robbins. But you've never gone through that experience, and you're never going to understand that. Well, when you read poetry by Langston Hughes and Amiri Baraka, you might get an interpretation of that experience. Good God. In a statement, Provost Visa Wallendorf said that studying historical material is an important aspect of the university experience, yet it is important to recognize that studying material meant to be provocative in its day, and that resonates in offensive ways today, presents challenges to instructors and students alike. Yeah, because you're fucking kowtowing to a bunch of students instead of teaching them how to understand that words are not violence. Yeah, Latinx. Yeah, that, you know what? How dare you go and try to change somebody else's language to meet your political needs? Fucking assholes. Anyway, so yeah, that's an annoying article today. I was going to read you the other article that matches it, but screw that. Let's just move on. Oh! Speaking of racial issues, Elizabeth Warren struggles to answer a question on Native American claims. So, why did you do it? Warren is now in the apology phase of her Native American problem, but it's not working. Oh my God. Let's see. I'll read a couple parts of this, and then we'll just show you the interview. It's the deer in the headlights she had is a little bit comical. Elizabeth Warren's unjustifiable claim to be Native American for employment purposes continues to frame the narrative of her presidential campaign. Call it the apology phase. The first phase was the family lore phase, the phase that lasted from April 2012, when it was first discovered she claimed to be Native American, until the summer of 2018. Warren repeatedly insisted she was Native American based on what her family told her, and anyone who questioned her was attacking her parents. The problem with the family lore phase was that Warren didn't start claiming to be Native American until the mid-1980s, when she was in her 30s and climbing the law professor ladder that eventually led to Harvard Law School. Had Warren grown up as a child believing she was Native American, you wouldn't have expected her to wait decades to claim her status. But she never identified with or associated with Native Americans until relatively late in life. That doesn't pass the smell test of someone who took her supposed family lore seriously. Now, and then they talk about the elope story, which is kind of laughable, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes, the family lore phase gave way to the DNA phase, with President Trump mocking and branding her as Pocahontas, which he did incorrectly. It's not Pocahontas. The meme is faux Pocahontas. But whatever. Warren was under pressure to do something, anything, to shake the narrative that she was a faker. So she took a DNA test, then rolled out the results just before the midterms, with a Boston Globe puff piece and slick video. It was a disaster. The DNA test showed Warren might be as little as 1,024th Native American by DNA. Even worse, taking such a test was offensive to actual Native Americans who do not use DNA as a measure of whether one is Native American, much less a tribal member. Democrats were shaken and worried that Warren took Trump's bait and would not be able to withstand general election campaign. So, that phase gives way to the apology phase. Warren hardly claims to be Native American anymore. Oh, you think? Though she uses a linguistic sleight of hand, repeatedly focusing on tribal membership. The problem isn't just that Warren isn't a tribal member. She's not Native American at all. So focusing on tribal membership is a dodge. Despite all apologies, Warren can't shake her Native American problem because she just can't admit that she tried to rig the system. She can claim that she didn't, in fact, get hired because of the checked box, something that can't actually be determined until her complete hiring files are released. But the suspicion still lingers, and she tried to benefit. Oh, the suspicion still lingers, she tried to benefit. So here's David Axelrod interviewing her. If you don't know who David Axelrod is, he's a former advisor to President Obama, and he kind of works on CNN occasionally. So he has his own little show now because, of course, if you're worked for any Democratic administration, of course you're going to get a job for the TV network. So here we go.
Way through, and then another. You worked your way through college. You worked your way
baby
through
school,
law school. I have to ask you about another family issue that you're probably sick of talking about, but this issue of your lineage and the Native American issue that has dogged you since your first...
Look at the change in demeanor on her face. It went all serious. Now she was smiling, then all of a sudden it went away because she don't want to hear... This is a question she don't want to talk about at all. This is hilarious.
Senate race. There have been all kinds of reports about it, including going through your hirings and asserting that there was no favoritism paid to you. But the question that I've never understood is why? Why did you in 1986 fill out on your, I guess it was your law license or something, an application, American Indian? Why did you check those boxes?
Because it's going to get me a job.
A very small part of your lineage, 1/32 or something. So why? David,
that's very generous of you. 1/32, he says. 1/32. Oh, that's the most generous possible. Actually, that's more than double what it could be, because the most she could be is 1/64th. And that DNA test didn't say anything about whether or not she was Native North American. It said there was traces of possible lineage from somewhere in South America. So let's go on.
Why did you do it?
So, like you said, I grew up in Oklahoma. I learned about my family the same way most people learn about this.
No. That's not it he asked. He said, why did you do it? Yeah, I didn't know that she never mentioned this until she was in her 30s either. So I think she knew. I think she knew something. Checking that box. Well, whatever. Let's listen to her.
Families, you know, from my mom and my dad and my aunts and my uncles, and
sure.
based on what I learned growing up, and the fact that I love my family. Decades ago, I sometimes identified as Native American.
Oh, I'm sometimes identified as Native American. Sometimes. Sometimes. Sometimes.
It never had anything to do with any job that I...
Whoa, 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 whoa. It never had anything to do with any job. And yet, Harvard University Law School identified Elizabeth Warren as their first ever law school professor who was a person of color. Person of color. Harvard Law School. That it said that in Harvard Law School, whatever it is that shows whatever all the professors are. Elizabeth Warren, our very first person of color on the woman of color on the Harvard University staff. So somebody used it besides you. Did you not ever look at your little roster there that said that about you? Professor Warren, Professor Senator Warren. Okay. I know we're making a big deal out of this, but you know what? This is kind of like, what do they call it when they, you fake that you were in the military? Stolen valor. I think there's a little bit of it's not just the, wanting to be a minority and have the advantages. Not, I use the word advantages as in perks that are awarded to minorities to, help them become part of the stolen feathers. Scholarship opportunities, things like that, things that are only to help minorities, so that because they want more minorities on their staff. They want, there are so many, for example, scholarships for minorities that, trying to help different demographics go to colleges and things like that. There are companies that want to hire minorities so they can increase their diversity and things like that. So that's what I mean by the perks, that there are some advantages to that. She wanted those advantages, and Harvard wanted to be able to say, we have a minority woman on our staff. Good job, Harvard. Good job.
I ever got. That's been fully documented.
Though the universities kind of fudged and used you for their own purposes.
It never had anything to do with my getting a job. Mm-hmm.
Axelrod actually said something there that I'm surprised he said it too. The university certainly used it.
Even so, I shouldn't have done it. I'm not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe. But what I try to do is be a good friend to Native Americans. And
oh, here. I'm not a person of color, but I have black friends. Oh, or in her case, Native American friends.
And that's why, for example, I have a housing bill that fully funds housing on on tribal reservations. I think it's an important piece of what we do.
I have a housing bill that fully funds housing. What? Oh my God! Whatever, lady.
Put out a video in the fall that went into this in some detail. This is what angered some of the tribal leadership.
What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you absolutely have a Native American ancestor.
That was the dude. They made this video saying, "Oh, I gotta go look at that video. Oh yeah, it's definitely that you have some Native American in you." Okay, sure, right, whatever.
It was something that the president just picked up. He's branded you with this Pocahontas thing and so on.
Yeah.
Was that a mistake?
But that's racist. Well, you know, if you're not anyway, I'm sorry, I gotta stop. This thing's taking way longer than I wanted it to.
Mistake to put that video out?
I can't go back.
Yes, it was a mistake.
All
Yes.
I can do.
Just say yes. Yes, it was a mistake. Yes, I looked like an idiot. And yes, it's going to be a major part of my presidential campaign, no matter how hard I try to make it go away. If I'm on a debate stage with hers and I'm one of the Democrats, I'm going to start calling her Pocahontas. You've been lying to the American people for years about this. And now you're caught, okay? Just say, you know what? It was dumb. I shouldn't have done it. Whatever.
Is go forward,
You
and
can't
that's,
help it. You can learn from it.
and I think I have.
And did you learn about what not to do in dealing with Donald Trump?
Okay, enough of that. I don't care what she thinks about Donald Trump. So anyway, okay. Now, the other day, wow, we're getting through a lot of these today. I had a whole bunch of these I wanted to get through. So like I said, I might not get to Twitter trends today. Because Twitter trends is not always that exciting anyway. And it's Monday. So usually on Monday, what are the top Twitter trends on Monday? Always in the top 5. Monday motivation, Monday morning, I don't know, Monday, something that starts with the word Monday. The other day we talked about this, the situation in Canada where this 14-year-old girl wanted to transition to be a boy and get hormone treatments, and somehow it got into the courts because her parents really didn't want her to start him yet. Maybe wanted her to wait a little longer till she's a little older. And so it was in the courts, and the judges were going to rule on whether or not this person was going to be able to, or these parents had the right to not have their 14-year-old take hormones until later in life. Well, we've got some results. And I don't know what to think about this. Well, I do, but I'm going to be nice. Well, nice is a relative term. Canadian court rules parents can't stop 14-year-old from taking trans hormones. The Supreme Court of British Columbia thinks it's okay for doctors to override a parent's wishes and administer trans hormones to his child. So you know what? I'm just not sure about this, people. I'm sorry. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court of British Columbia ordered that a 14-year-old girl receive testosterone injections without parental consent. The court also declared that if either of the parents referred to her using female pronouns or addressed her by her birth name, they would be considered guilty of family violence. Family violence. As previously reported, Maxine was encouraged by her school counselor in British Columbia's Delta School District to identify as a boy while in 7th grade. This is also a girl that at one point decided that she was, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not going to, whatever. I'm just to keep it simple. It's for you all to understand. She identified as a lesbian at one point too, and then changed her mind. But now she's the school counselor encouraged her to identify as a boy while in 7th grade. When Maxine was 13-year-old Dr. Brennan Hirsch and his colleagues at British Columbia's Children's Hospital decided that Maxine should begin taking testosterone injections in order to develop a more masculine appearance. You know what? You sit down with the child and the parents and you go through all this, and maybe you have the discussion, but my God, the parents didn't want this to happen and weren't consulted, and the doctor somehow it got in the BC courts. Although Maxine's mother was ultimately willing to support hormone injections, her father, Clark, was concerned about the permanent ramifications of cross-sex hormones, suspecting that his daughter's mental health issues might be more the cause than the effect of her gender dysphoria. He ultimately decided that it would be better for her to wait until she was older before she embarked on any irreversible course of treatment. Remember, this is a girl who changed her mind about being a lesbian. At that point, Hirsch informed Clark that he would begin testosterone injections on the basis of Maxine's consent alone, claiming that he had the right to do so under the BC Infants Act. Clark promptly sought an injunction to prevent this. On Wednesday, however, the judge deemed Maxine exclusively entitled to consent to medical treatment for gender dysphoria, regardless of the opinions of either of her parents. So to me, that's just a sad case. Does not make me happy. There's a whole lot more to this article, but I'm done. I can't read it. I will admit to the world as we sit here, I don't understand it. And so, can I have opinion on it? Hell yeah, I can have an opinion on it. Even if I don't understand it, I've never gone through it. I guess maybe I'm fortunate that I've raised kids who are just average, and I won't even say normal, because even calling them normal would be pissing people off. But when I say normal, I mean just the average kid, who are the vast majority of the population. And it would be very hard for me as a parent to go through this. I would always love my kids no matter what happened with them or what they, whatever types of decisions they make. But to have a court tell you that you don't have any rights as a parent, that a minor child, that is so incredibly disturbing to me. Even in a case like this, I just don't, anything that permanently changes your body, be it tattoos, be it some types of piercings, and I don't give a shit about piercing. We had our daughter's ears pierced when she was very young. But still, it required consent from parents. You have to get consent from parents at a school to give your kid aspirin. They can't give you aspirin without your parents' permission. So why would they be able to give you hormone treatments to permanently change your body? Or even, granted, hormone changes, it's very hard in your body, and stopping, let's say she changes her mind in 4 or 5 years and goes, oh, nah, that was a mistake. That is a very grueling process both ways, going into it and coming out of it. So I don't know. How many 14-year-olds know what they're going to major in college? How many 14-year-olds have decided what sport or instrument or anything else they want to play and then change their mind about it? You think a life-altering decision like this can be made by a 14-year-old? Are you out of your freaking minds? It's just insanity. It's insanity. I can't freaking believe it. Anyway, well, we got a few more minutes. Let's just see. We're not going to spend a lot of time on Twitter trends, but I have a little time, and let's just see if I was right about what's trending on Twitter. Real quick here. We've got Twitter up here. And, of course, it's Monday, so the number one trend on Twitter, Monday motivation. Let's find one good one. We do this every day. We try to find the one good Monday motivation. What's this from? Oh, that's from Disney music. No, oh, Snuffy. Are y'all familiar with Snuffleupagus? Put your best foot or feet forward this week. That's our Monday motivation. Okay, I'll take Snuffy. You know, by the way, oh, nice work avoiding the swear jar on that last story of P-Dog Night. Yeah, you know, boy, it would have been something, huh? Hey, Festering Wound, nice to see you. This is the point in which I'm glad I don't have kids. You know what? At some point, if you decide you do want to have kids, go have kids. I mean, kids are great. I'm so happy with how my kids turned out. But again, we planned ahead and decided how we were going to raise our kids. We talked about it in advance, and not everyone has that. People who, they have the oops kids. I'm not saying that they're bad people, and we are fortunate that we were able to make our decisions about our children and how we were going to raise them and who raised them, which we did. We both, in our case, we both altered our job schedules so that we could raise our own kids. So we started a daycare in our house. I changed my hours. My wife changed her hours. We took turns doing the daycare just so that we would we were always with our kids, and that was a big deal. And then also, and then we also decided how they were going to start school. So we had them in a Montessori school, and we were both volunteers at the school for just about everything that they did. Just one of those things. So, and actually, Sarah, all of mine were oops kids. Well, actually, in a way, both of ours were two. It's just that they were oops after we were married, and after we, we were married about a year and a half before we found out that we were pregnant with my wife was pregnant with our daughter. And, but it was more of a oops that, we weren't planning. We didn't make any special arrangements. We weren't having to go at, like, one of my friends, he and his wife were trying to get pregnant. And they went through all this stuff and going to doctors and stuff. And, about the time that they got pregnant, we weren't even trying, and poof, Laura's pregnant. Okay, out of the blue. That'd be Lady Boomer for those of you who don't know her first name. And so, and they were just like, all this stuff we went through. I'm like, well, we went through it too. We weren't doing it because we were trying. So, and that was kind of the same with our second kid too. So anyway, so that's the Monday motivation day. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but put your best foot or feet forward this week. That's a great Monday motivation. Number 2 trend is Keith Flint. Don't know who that is. He is, star of Prodigy. He was found dead in his home. The singer from the band Prodigy. Oh, wow. Okay, that's age 49. He died. This is the band. It is with deepest shock and sadness that we confirm the death of our brother and best friend Keith Flint, true pioneer, innovator, and legend. He will be forever missed. We thank you for respecting the privacy of all concerned at that time. Yeah, Prodigy is kind of a weird band, but okay, so he's done. FEMA's trending also because apparently something happened in Alabama. FEMA has been told directly by me to give the A+ treatment to the great state of Alabama and the wonderful people who have been so devastated by the tornadoes. Okay, apparently there's some tornadoes in Alabama. I didn't realize that. Probably some people pissed about that because I'm sure someone's saying some shit about Puerto Rico or whatnot. Anyway, I don't know what that one was. Was that what was that? I heard a beep go. Someone must have just subscribed. That was an hour ago. Okay. When was the first time you've seen Sesame Street P-Dog Night? Hey, you know what? That's an interesting question, Brian Mullins, because I saw the very first episode of Sesame Street when I was 4 years old. because the first episode was in 1969, and my mom, who was both my parents were educators, and so I went and they heard that this program was going to be starting, and so we got up. It was 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever the day it started, and I saw the very first episode. I saw the first season of Sesame Street when I was a kid. Yeah, it was 50 years ago. It was 1969. So yeah, I remember that. Sesame Street was a big damn deal at the time. So all right, let's see. I don't think that wasn't a donation. It was because that Johnny Hellcat. I already read Johnny Hellcats, unless it went somewhere else. I don't know. We'll figure it out anyway. But thank you for whoever did what you just did. Yeah. So yeah, I saw the very first season of Sesame Street. I didn't, when you're 4 years old, you don't know it's the first season of Sesame Street. You just watch whatever your parents throw on the TV and whatever. And we were getting ready for their day or whatever and whatever. So anyway, so yeah, Sesame Street. But FEMA. Why should FEMA give better or worse treatment to any part of the U.S. simply because you tell it to? You are the president of all. Well, you know what? I don't think that he meant that. I'm pretty sure he meant just A+ treatment to anybody, whatever. Quit whining about shit like that. No, I was born in '64, but I was 4 years old. I was 5 years old. Yeah, I was born in '64. Anyway. Monday Thoughts. I'm not going to read it. National Grammar Day. There, and there. Okay. All language varieties deserve. Oh gosh. Wow. Oh, okay. Now this is interesting. The first thing up here on National Grammar Day. All language varieties deserve respect, and using someone's grammar as a way to criticize them is barely hidden elitism. Now, let me ask you a question. Who are the people most likely to use someone's grammar as a way to criticize them? Has to do with something called what? Pronouns? Good grammar is essential. National Grammar Day. What else here? How is this trending number 5? It's National Grammar Day, and we all need a chuckle. Tip: good grammar gets you selected. True story: a well-written email will be received better than a rushed job full of typos and grammatically incorrect. Take your time and watch you shine. Know the grammar, the difference in knowing your shit and knowing your shit. National Grammar Day. Hey, that's a good one. Okay, that's it. What else? Real quick, let's pop through a couple more, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. Let's see. After National Grammar Day, Monday morning. Oh, yeah, that's always. Ted Lindsay, Red Wings legend, Hockey Hall of Famer. Ted Lindsay dies at age 93. Wow. I'm not familiar with Ted Lindsay, but let's see. Lindsay, also known as Terrible Ted, scored more than 800 points during his 17-year career and won the Stanley Cup 4 times. So, rest in peace, Ted Lindsay. Who else? What else here is trending? Hickenlooper. What the hell? Oh, former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper enters the 2020 presidential race. Oh my gosh, thank God. Thank God John Hickenlooper's in the race. I can sleep better now. Who the fuck is John Hickenlooper? I don't even know what party. For who? It's official. I'm asking you to interview me for president. Our country is in crisis, and we need someone who knows how to bring people together and get things done. This is my record, but I've never done it alone. Join me. Hickenlooper's a moderate Democrat, helped revive Colorado's economy in his second term as governor. Okay, that's according to the New York Times, so that means nothing to me. Apparently, okay. Okay, in the chat, those of you who have joined us today, I have a task for you at this very moment. Give me the odds, as in blank number to 1, that John Hickenlooper becomes president of the United States. Give me your best odds right now. Chat, you've got, let's say, I'll wait 15 seconds for the lag. Give us your best odds at John Hickenlooper becoming president of the United States. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, Sarah, that's pretty. Ooh, that's not good. Wait, no, Sarah. That means he could be. Wait, no. That's. Are you going percentage? Because if you do that, that means he's already president. I mean, that's like you're giving him perfect odds. Like 1-to-1 means he'd be president. 10 million to 1 means ain't happening. Shit ain't happening. Festering wood 0. that's just the way it goes. Percentage. Sorry. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. He's got an Ice Cube's chance in Cuba. Well, they both have cubes in it. Do they have cubes in Cuba? I don't know. Yeah, I ain't betting on John Hickenlooper. Well, you know what his biggest problem is? Who knows what his... Okay. Chat. Assignment number 2. What is John Hickenlooper's biggest problem at becoming the Democratic nominee for the president of the United States? Who's the first one? Let's see if we have a winner. Who knows? Here, let me show you John Hickenlooper. This is John Hickenlooper. Tell me if you might be able to tell just from the... Oh, ding, ding, ding. I need that bell. Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to buy a bell. I need to buy a bell. Yep. You're a white male. You don't know that he's cis? We don't know. He might identify as a woman. He might identify as a black man. But you're a white male. Yeah, John Hickenlooper's. He's done before he even starts. Okay, why is Wendy Williams trending? Y'all know who Wendy Williams. Let's see. So, she just called your bluff, America. She just said, I won't discuss my marriage. You can get mad if you want to, but you'll be back in 3 days watching me, Wendy Williams. Okay, so Wendy Williams is the hot topic? What happened to Wendy Williams? Anyone know? Wendy Williams is who's Wendy Williams? She's a talk show host. She's this giant woman with big old, she has large body parts, and she also, I swear to God, for the longest time, I would watch that show. I'm thinking, is she trans? But she's not. She's just a big woman. Let's see. Fan of Wendy Williams, but I'm disappointed that she isn't being real. I know a few publicists who gossip, and what you've read online is pretty true to what occurred behind the scenes. Her crew did not miss her. Her man is mean and messy, and she was... What is going on with Wendy Williams? Let me see if I'll show you a picture of Wendy Williams, if everyone else... this is all Black Twitter putting memes up about her. So, this woman right here, that's Wendy Williams. What's going on with Wendy Williams? Well, let's see if we can hear this. She's a talk show host. Yeah, her. Brian, what did Brian say? White male, yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she tries to be Oprah. But that's okay. This doesn't tell me what happened. So Wendy Williams didn't talk to Chloe, Tristan, or Jordan. Guess she's avoiding the hot talk. Wendy Williams? What the hell? Everyone's all on her case, but I can't figure out why. Now I'm curious. Yeah, she does, Sarah. I didn't want to say that, but yes, she does. Enormous. What the hell? Come on, Wendy, we would have respected you more if you would have spilled your own tea like you do everyone else's on this dry. This is dry. We're past Jesse. What? I don't know. All right, well, we're not going to figure it out here. Brian said he had a big old shit. He had big old hickenloopers. Oh, okay. Now I found it. I don't know how I skipped that. Anyway, all right. So we're not gonna find out real soon what happened to Wendy Williams. Apparently, but it's a hot damn topic. All these people talking about it. So I'm watching live, and all I see are lies. I have watched this show for 10 years. Okay, there's your problem, Franklin. Franklin, stop watching Wendy Williams. I have cringed, but I say, you did not tell the truth, but went into Jesse's business. Well, Jesse's dumb ass did some dumb shit. I don't want to hear. Whatever. What? Nobody's telling us anything. Okay, apparently she's talking about Chloe and Jordan. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I'm done. I don't care. God, if I could care less, I would be dead. All right? That's all there is to it. So anyway, I'm not getting any more Twitter trends because I got to go. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fun morning. I still can't figure out, though. I'm trying to find this. What the hell happened here? Yeah, that was Johnny Hellcats from an hour ago. So I'm thinking somebody subscribed. That's probably what it was. And I just missed it. Oh, yeah, that was... Avra Wolf subscribed. That's what it was. It was a new subscription. Thank you, Avra Wolf, for subscribing. And actually, let me just put that out as a reminder to the rest of you here. If you have not already subscribed, right down here, there's a little button down there that says subscribe. Click the bell. Also, make sure you share these when they come out anytime. And also, my program note, I'll probably remind you every day this week, but on Friday, we'll be doing a 4.5-hour live stream, so it'll be all morning. Just jump in anytime. It'll be me and Lady Boomer. We'll have a lot of fun. But yeah, do definitely hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you people coming to and see me every day. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT on the Morning Night Live. We have a lot of fun, and I appreciate you all for being here. But I gotta go. I got stuff to do. So, my name is P-Dog Knight, and I am out of here.